Hello and welcome to Pedestrians Mixtape. I'm your host Ellie, and I'm happy to share some work by five of my favorite artists: Max Guy, Ryndon Johnson, Coco Klockner, Alex Veloso, and Julian Howe. The six of us together are each dispersed across the globe, and I come to you from the Leonard and Bina Ellen Gallery Sightings Cube. Thank you to Julia, Michelle, and the gallery for coordinating this event. Please enjoy. First up, we have Max Guy's piece called We Are Worse Bent.
We are worst bent and troubled by invisible hands. Baal's father was a magician, but he was an idiot. His father also had a demon's name, Belphegor, and was a sorcerer born with magic abilities rather than learning them. He thought his predisposition towards magic was enough to go on, and insisted on finding a word that could not be said. He wanted to find something that couldn't be incanted, a spell to humble everyone. Belphegor could do things like draw using the clouds in the sky, and he would teach Baal and his sister, whose name won't be revealed just yet, but it might not have been a demon's name, how to draw things too in their own ways. Baal loved when his father would take them into the rolling hills of Worth on a cloudy day, and they would lay down beneath the sky that Belphegor had patterned like a leopard's fur. He and his sister would turn over onto their stomachs and watch that basalt-studded valley, which was then blanketed in leopard print shadows. As the clouds wandered, the shadows scrolled across the landscape, changing everything. They would all play and eat until the sun began to set and painted the sky shades of violet and periwinkle, which Belphegor would then respond to with his magic, almost obsessively until dark. He was never fully satisfied with his sunset drawings, and in his fixation, Belphegor would tether his children to the night, often to Baal's discontent. Twilight made Belphegor's children anxious, and in their walks home, Baal and his sister would teach themselves things about the night to distract from their fear. The first thing he learned was that the moonlight could trace silhouettes in the sky too. And Baal would watch the silhouettes of twisting trees and the night sky as it seemed to shimmer lake-like above him, or a flock of birds in passage. His sister would greet them, and they would honk or chirp back, and later it would be revealed that she could greet them without speaking. Baal would count the rabbits and the squirrels as they made their way to their dens, and he felt safe. One evening on their way home, Baal disappeared suddenly, without his father and sister noticing. Walking in stride with them, he was totally forgotten. Into all of the woods he had observed patiently. He disappeared and watched as his family braved their way without him. He felt everything the forest could, and the sorrow of them leaving it behind without him. Everything unfurled as an ancient panorama, a tapestry, or a screen. There was a zombie trapped in a clearing, confused and robotic among the tall grass, the decomposing log, and the fireflies. At one with the forest, immersed in it all, Baal watched his sister anxiously try to console their father, embittered by the sunset. She asked an owl to cross under the abstract cloud formation Belphegor had composed, and when it did, so silently, Her father laughed. Baal's envy was muffled by the forest itself. When he got older, Baal imagined what it was like to not exist at all, what the earth and its magic would be like without him there. Belphegor taught his children that people could learn magic, and so their own gifts were not enough.
Okay, that was Max Guy's We Are Worse Bent. The text Max read from is called We Are Worse Bent and Troubled by Invisible Hands, which is a chapter in a Bildungsroman about a necromancer that he's been working on. Metronomes make their appearance somewhat often in Max's work, signaling rhythm, temporality, measure. Time and the object itself recur as a muse, organizing and holding space. Next up is Alex Veloso with Follow My Tracks, which is a video excerpt of the performance. Alex writes, in this performance, a track of hospital hold lines, a chronically ill protest lecture, and a disco pop ballad are compiled to score disabled movement across a cornstarch-covered floor. The performance leaves the trace of my movements and cane in the cornstarch residue.
If this is an emergency, please hang up and call 911 or go to the nearest emergency department. Please note that all calls are recorded for quality assurance purposes. Please listen carefully to the following options. If you are calling for directions, press 1. If you are calling about a prescription, press 2. If you are calling about medical records, forms, insurance referrals, or other reports, press 3. To schedule or reschedule an appointment, press 4. Please, for family medicine, press 1. For adolescent clinic, colorectal surgery, or endocrine, press 2. For gastroenterology, genetics, hematology, or hepatology, press 3. For infectious disease, nephrology, pulmonary, or surgical oncology, press 4. If you are unsure which department, please press 5 and a representative will assist you. Did you know early detection of cancer may allow treatment to start before symptoms begin? This can also greatly improve your outcome. The American Cancer Society encourages screening tests for cancer at regular doctor visits. Check often to see if you are due for a screening test or exam. To learn more about screening guidelines, log on to cancer.org. VCU Massey Cancer Center is designated by the National Cancer Institute as a leader in the fight against cancer. To schedule an appointment with one of our cancer specialists, call 1-877-4-MASSY. Thank you for calling VCU Health. Just a reminder, when you come for your appointment or visit a patient in the hospital, smoking is prohibited everywhere on VCU Health's downtown campus and satellite locations. Breastfeeding can be challenging. However, the health benefits associated with you and your baby are worth the effort. Breast milk contains antibodies that can reduce health risks, including ear infections, stomach viruses, leukemia, obesity, and asthma. If possible, breastfeed until your child turns 1, so your baby gets the ear infections, stomach viruses, leukemia, obesity, and asthma. If possible, breastfeed until your child turns 1, so your baby gets the... Thank you for calling DCU Health. We appreciate your attention for calling DCU Health. We appreciate your attention for calling DCU Health. We appreciate your attention for calling, and we will be in just a moment. Making a healthy lifestyle is Nutrition a Healthy Lifestyle duly accredited as a chest pain center from the American College of Cardiology for achieving a high level of expertise in caring for patients who arrive with symptoms of heart attack. Visit dchuhealth.org or call hematology or hepatology, press 3. For infectious disease, nephrology, pulmonary, or surgical oncology, press 4. If you are unsure of which department, please press 5 and a representative will assist you.
The piece you just saw was Follow My Tracks by Alex Veloso. The video makes me wonder, whom is our infrastructure for? What will it look like in the future? How ergonomic or at odds? Next up is poetry by Ryndon Johnson, performing Flux in 3 parts.
Hi, Ellie. Hi, everybody. Here we go. Flux in 3 parts. Berlin, 2017. I do not pursue quietly. I devour. In winter, I flew to Berlin to see you. You told me about these fountains that you used to take the long way to see. The fountains were large stone cubes placed in the courtyards of all these new office blocks that went up around your Eastern Berlin subway station. When the cubes were first placed, they were new and beautiful. Each cube was a different type of stone, and slowly the water eroded them. Winter came, and the water would freeze sections of the stone. Pieces would fall off and shatter. Your friend said she was there when it happened once. The sound was very loud and memorable. It startled her, and then realizing the rarity, she felt happy to be startled. A mouth can also be an opening, I think. You told me all of this 2 years before I actually saw these fountains, right when I was trying to do something similar with leather, inscribe time across an object that is actually also living. This was around the same time that I found that I could not stop thinking about what Auden said in his memory to Yeats. For poetry makes nothing happen, it survives. In the valley of its making, where executives would never want to tamper, flow on south, from branches of isolation and the busy griefs, raw towns that we believe and die in, it survives. A way of happening. A mouth. I kept having dreams that I was a mouth, or that I was being eaten. I kept wondering what kind of stone I was, and then forgetting what I had decided on. When I saw myself, I couldn't believe it, and scarcely remember. Maybe there are things that we should become accustomed to not seeing. That, or what June Jordan said in It's Hard to Keep a Clean Shirt Clean. What's any of us to do about what's done? I would never expect to see a piece fall off of one of these stones, especially now that they're covered in moss. I would expect to see an elephant alone in the zoo. You'll be surprised to hear that when you touch a tree that was burned 1 year ago after it has rained 1 day ago, that the tree feels like damp cardboard, and that your hands will be covered in soot. By creating a perimeter around something, I'd argue, then you have a form of opening. Brooklyn, 2019. The big tree in the yard sheds leaves all year round. I cut a piece of leather to mimic the shape of a stone. The ice freezes in my indigo bath and suspends the pigment in a kind of useless threat. I turn you blue if only I could get out of the binds of my elemental state, which I did not consent to nor define. No perimeter really exists. It's around now. It's obvious that the old arguments are useless. Flow doesn't really have direction. Los Angeles, 2022. Why do some fingers have more roundness than others? I swim in the Pacific. I eat pizza in the hills. I walk between buildings with the phone to my ear, and I slip along the spine that is the 5. I try not to think of what it would have meant if I had stayed in this place, or stayed in any place, rather than what I have been doing. High, so high, chasing the something of being an artist, that something being that thing that you could do where you control your work's presentation so much you ensure they're there for every installation, even to your own physical detriment. I push clay. I make the same vessel over and over again. I come crawling down the grapevine, over the hills and into a valley or a plateau. I see trees that must be Joshua trees but are just something different altogether. In conversation, I learn things, and I no longer ask for phone numbers, rather expect we'll see each other again, or we won't. Pulling myself forward in the water, I can feel there is a muscle working somewhere below my calves. A trauma I can share with you is that as a child I struggled with the 12 times table, or really any basic mathematical computations that involve 12 in some capacity. Nobody told me that math is a construction of quickly known things put together while the unknowns remain until finally the unknown can be broken down small enough it can be known and thus be attended to. I made a work this year that is trying very hard to be in a window but not doing so well. You know that poem where Eileen Miles is talking about how being a dog on a leash must bring such pleasure. Imagine scraping your knees on the pavement for all that pleasure. It's the reassurance they're throwing knives at. I think I'd prefer to be a water in a dam or an excavated hillside. I'm seeping into the ground. Everything I've known will be altogether different, and I'll know exactly who to blame. Thank you.
That was Ryndon Johnson's Flux in 3 parts. 2017, 2019, 2022, Berlin, Brooklyn, Los Angeles. Ryn read to us at night from a German courtyard, but a few days prior he was in the same time zone as me. Both Johnson and his art move like flat stones, skipping across space and subjects. Next up is Coco Klockner's The Kiss. The audio in this piece is called Music for Delay and Passing Cars by Flashlight O, which is Coco's recording and performance project. That was Coco Klockner with The Kiss. The figures in the video, both human body and vehicle, manage to be both explicit and abstract. Their images loop and fold in on themselves like some kind of circuit or riddle. Next up is Julian Howe.
Can you hear me? Are we live?
Yes, we are.
And so we are all here.
Where are we?
Hello?
Couldn't see the other one. Couldn't go the other way, but there they are. Back anyway. Over the five. Over the five. No. Take it out anyway. There you go. Couldn't follow, but we'll follow. We'll go. Go up to the door.
How can I put this? Are you guys high?
I used to think as a child that my heart beating was the sound of someone walking towards me who will one day arrive and kill me. They stop at the moment they do. Synchronicity or glitch in the matrix, the unconscious and other forces deliver you to the healing experiences that you need in order to survive capitalism.
Finding space to simply be in the moment is hard.
Yeah, it's hard for me too.
Do you think we could try?
Hi everybody.
Brian, do you always wear that shirt?
Imagine if you and Jerry.
Hi, everybody.
Why does there always need to be this kind of dance or whatever?
You said blue line through blue line blue. You said your blue line was going through and through. I said the blue line was going through. You said blue line through blue line blue. Said your blue line was going through and through. I said the blue line was going through.
The piece you just heard was Julian Howe's Panpsychic Sound Floor, which is part of an ongoing body of research. Julian explores trance states, the unconscious, and imagination across disciplines. Finding space to simply be in the moment is hard. Yeah, it's hard for me too. These lines from the piece jump out at me as I try to find my footing in sonic panpsychosis. The visual score offers both crisp and out-of-focus glyphs, signaling both clarity and confusion, perhaps a more accurate rendering of what it means to move in our world. We'll conclude this program with a song by yours truly. This is my cover of Dionne Warwick's Walk On By, released in 1964, written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
If you see me walking down the street and I start to cry each time we meet, walk on by, walk on by. Make believe you don't see the tears, just let me grieve in private, 'cause each time I see you I break down and cry. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by. I just can't get over losing you, and so if I seem broken in you, walk on by. Walk on by. Foolish pride is all that I have left, so let me hide the tears and the sadness you gave me when you said goodbye. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on. Walk on by. Walk on by. you gave me when you said goodbye. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by, don't stop. Walk on by, don't stop. I really gotta go, so walk on by, don't stop. Baby, leave you never see the tears you cry, don't stop. I really gotta go, so walk on by, don't stop. Baby, leave you never see the tears you cry, don't stop. I really gotta go, so walk on by,
Alright, folks, that was Pedestrians Mixtape. Thank you for attending and sending my love to you all.